MFL Total Access. Put all your worries and troubles aside for this next hour and 40 minutes. Listen to Terry Babelis and I pretend we know what we're talking about. MFL's in the house. Come on, let's get it, boy. Let's
An
get it.
hour and how many minutes you said?
We're going an hour and 40 today. No,
Oh, yeah.
we'll crack just an hour, maybe.
You have time for that?
Man, ain't nobody got time for that.
Where's that coffee from?
It's from where's it from?
I asked and I was like,
Second
"Invasion of
cup.
that?"
The same cup gave me a different cup today.
Uh, yeah. Speaking of putting all your worries aside, man, people were worried this weekend. I heard a lot of worries this past weekend. We'll dive into a few. But one thing you don't have to worry about is games only lasting 1 hour in the MFL. Because we ain't some other league where the games are tight and they all last 1 hour. Our games, you have much more time than that. All kidding aside, our games last like an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes on average. But yeah, you don't got to worry about the game cutting time at the end because there's another reservation after us. Games could go long past the end time that they're supposed to, and that's why we schedule games every 1 hour and a half.
Well, that's what makes MFL great, right? Clock stops often, right? Especially like the higher scoring games, the more the clock's going to stop.
Yeah,
Uh, Change of possession, clock stops, turnover on downs, all that. For the converts, there's no time doesn't run, so all that good stuff to give us more flag football.
yeah. And I had a message I wanted to say, but I guess after saying what we just said, it's an even better segue to say it. Um, we're pretty nice on the podcast. Like in general, I feel people, one comment we get is that we're like too nice and we're not harsh enough, especially when we're having Jaff on. For those who don't know, Jaff was like a big meanie and he would always be calling out people. Um,
The evil
but
stepmother.
Yeah, but if ever you do feel like attacked or we calling you out or roasting you, it's because we actually like you. We won't feel comfortable calling out people we're not actually. I mean, for me personally, I don't know about you, but like I think I'm speaking for both of us. We'll never call someone out or be rude to them if it's not in a joking manner. And chances are, if we're doing it to you, it's because we have some sort of relationship that we feel comfortable enough doing it. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, 100%. Look, like you said, we try not to grind any gears, but if we could, pull someone's leg here and there, it's all in good fun. And like you said, it's somebody we know and someone we have a good relationship with, or else
Yeah,
we do it.
like I know you always tell me it's because I know they could take it. Or it's
Yeah, that's
because
that's
I
the
want
goal.
I wanted them to win, so I'm trying to motivate them. That's why I'm gonna say their shit on the podcast and they can come at me. Um, but yeah, that's it. And if you want us to pull your leg even more, let us know or tell us, and we'll just come at you even more. Um, what else do I want to say about that? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, let's get
Yeah,
started.
some people have thick skin, and hopefully we don't get under their skin.
Yeah. So let's start with MFL Laval because a lot went down. Last week at Parc Isabelle, the rest of the season, including the playoffs, will be now moving to Parc Jolibourg with two fields at the same time. And huge statement win by Bandinos to start off the day. Yes, Sooners 45 were without Diego. I'm not sure if he's on vacation or injured. If he's injured, I really hope he comes back well and stronger than ever. But nonetheless, huge win by Bandinos, keeping their winning streak and their undefeated season alive. Number one in the standings out of 11 teams. Um, Cougars above 500. Your defending champs, the Villains, taking care of business against a Pousseur de Ballon, who has been very up and down. Almost 200 points for through 5 games, but 140 against. Uh, Max Rosenfeld, the Laval writer, did a really nice piece this week, ranking every team in power rankings. Make sure to
Nice.
give it a read. I really appreciated it. Didn't even ask him to do it. He just YOLO'd it and very nice read.
Respect.
Um, what else I want to say? Bellows in Business putting up 46 against the free agents. Dave Daou was not there, so it wasn't that pretty. But Cheetahs, the other free agent team, getting their first win of the season against Le Flag James. And I just want to shout them out. They lost big in the first game. And usually free agent teams lose big quite often, right?
Mhm.
And one sec, just taking a note here.
Wow. Yeah, 71 points given up is not a recipe of success.
If I would have asked you after that game, how many games will it take for them to get the first win? What would you have said?
I would if you told me 6.5 games in, I would have taken the over. So this is probably about
Yeah,
8.
I think an accurate over under would probably been 9.5. Like we see them when Montreal, some free agent teams go winless, and
Yep.
then a very close game against Bandinos, who are at the top of the standings, right? Only
Yep.
losing by 9 points. So even that, like I know there's no moral victories, but I would have given them a small tap on the back. And
Oh,
now beating Le Flag James, who I saw firsthand play with, and are not a bad team by any means, should be average of the pack. Um, Putting up 28 points and winning 28 to 19. Their quarterback Andre having a nice game. Like that's tremendous improvement from week one. Like honestly, tremendous. I don't think words could describe it. I don't think a free agent team that start off that bad has won a game this early in the season. So good for them. Fighting for a playoff spot right now because we know 7 out of 11 teams make the playoffs. That huge win against the Flag James. That win against the Flag James was huge, right? They beat a team that won a game, so who knows where this could take them?
right. So now they're even Steven, or so they're 1-1. So let's say the Flag James lose the next one. They have the tie break.
Yeah, half a game back, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. So seven teams make it, basically like AFC, NFC, and the NFL, right? One gets the bye.
Exactly.
Nice,
Exactly.
nice.
Villains have a doubleheader next week against Cheetahs and Bandino, so it's going to be a tough one for Cheetahs after their first game against the Grizzlies. So lots to unpack next week in MFL Laval.
Who do you got staying undefeated, Bandinos or Les Blancs?
Oh, that's clearly the game of the week. Good question, William. I'm glad you asked because I was quickly going to the next division.
Sometimes I pay
Uh,
attention.
wow, that's gonna be one that you gotta get your popcorn ready, right? Look, this
Yeah,
is a
I have my answer.
rematch of last year's semifinal game where Bandinos had their Cinderella story run ended by Les Vilains. Just wanna make sure I'm not talking out of my you know what. Um, but I'm pretty sure because I was there. That's what happened. Uh, no, sorry. Bandinos had their Cinderella story run ended by Cougars, who lost in the
Mm.
finals to Villains. I mixed that up. Good thing I went to double check. But this could very well be the finals preview right now, right? I know Cougars have something to say about that. Maybe Pousseur de Ballon aussi and Bellows in Business, who have won two straight. But um, look, to be the champs, you got to beat the champs. And as of right now, Les Vilains are still the defending champs. They look, they have more points for and fewer points against in one less game than Bandinos. So nothing leads me to believe that Bandinos could win this game. It's going to be an extremely close game. I have no doubt. Like the way Rob White controls that offense and the defense they have, I'm not expecting a blowout like Les Vilains did in their first three games. Um, I think it will be their closest game of the season. I could see it being a nine. Like I think the over under is maybe 9.5, and I'm taking the under.
I like that. Yeah, I say villains squeak it out by one.
1 point?
Yeah, 34-33.
Wow. All right, let's go to the women's division. We had two games in the women's division. Crazy Beast, Supernova. Supernova remain winless, but are improving, scoring 12 points in this one. 11 completions. I believe that's a season high for Emily. Let's see on her personal records. It is. So good for her.
Nice.
Like small baby steps each game. Um, where are they? How did the game go? So they were down to one score at half. Then Crazy Beast kind of ran away with it. Look, nice to see Angie score four passing touchdowns and put up 240 yards in this game, right? Um,
Yeah.
Lauriane Pilon, the girl behind the camera with those amazing videos, six
Our
for
very own.
94, making them change move. Look at this. Almost every receiver who caught more than one pass, averaging over double digits in this game. Sharmika and Annabelle with two touchdowns apiece. And on defense, you had a few sacks by Annabelle and Barria as well. Lorian even getting a pick, Angie as well. Um, Good job for Sabrina on her interception. But
Talk about
yeah,
a team effort.
yeah, seriously. I didn't see this game, but I think both teams had a lot of fun.
Yeah, most probably. You said Angie 14 over 14 yards of completion, receivers with 90 plus yards, two touchdowns, interceptions. Good stuff, Crazy Bees.
And then you have Roxanne filling in at the quarterback position with Isabelle away. 24 of 38, 260, six touchdowns, zero interceptions. I know it's against a free agent team, but I beg the question, why did you not like want to play quarterback all season? I know she loves catching balls. I know she's a great snapper, but like her improvement at the quarterback position was something nice to watch last year, and I hope to see a continuation of it in future seasons, maybe. Because obviously there's stress that comes with playing the position. It's not as glamorous as people think. You win the game, the team gets props. Or the receiver that scored five touchdowns gets props. It's so rare that we single out the quarterback and say it's only thanks to you that the team won. The defense carried you. You had your star receiver, this that. But when you lose the game, more often than not, it's because of you. So I completely get it. But Roxanne, you're a baller at the quarterback position. Got to keep balling out. Um, Rochelle and Kayla getting 2 touchdowns each on defense. Rochelle also getting 2 sacks in this game. Look, it wasn't pretty. Supernova couldn't continue or sustain the drives they had in that first game. But Drama Queens are a very tough matchup, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It just you
putting
look
up
at the roster
43.
from top to bottom.
Yeah, I maybe they could have probably maybe created 2 teams. But I know a lot of girls were missing a lot of games, but maybe they took the foot off the gas. But I'd say maybe just like put on cruise control and just don't even touch the gas pedal next time in the second half or something. Maybe put in someone else at quarterback. Look, Kayla threw. I guess Kayla went in late in the game. Maybe make Roxanne. No, I'm not gonna say throw with her left hand, but maybe alternate quarterbacks or something. Drop some new plays. Get some girls the ball who don't really get the ball as often. I don't know. Um, I hope Supernova still had fun in this game and can only get better. In
Yeah, I wonder if
rest.
Barber could sling the rock.
It'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see. It maybe be a MFL record for the oldest player to throw a forward pass in the MFL,
Yeah, well said.
unless Stu decides to throw one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we saw Stu firsthand this weekend.
Who's older, Stu or Barbara? Or
I
who's
think
younger,
it's
I should say.
Stu. What? Yeah, I think Barber's younger because Stu had said he's the oldest player in the league, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but we no one fact checked him.
Yeah, no, no one did. And who trusts Stu, right? So that's a good point.
Let's go Division 5.
Alrighty.
Quickly, did you see any games?
I actually recorded overtime of Wong Dynasty, the Legendaries, and completely forgot to upload it. Um, in this game, I believe Ben Denis ended up taking quarterback midway through the game, or was it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure if Gab got hurt. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, Ben Denis ended up taking over and one quarterback. So yeah, I literally just came for the overtime in this game, and all I could see here is Ryan Wong hit a wide open receiver on the extra point for the victory, and it was.
And that wide open receiver was
Yeah,
Simon.
and he was like wide open, like no one was within like 18 yards of him. Like it didn't really make sense. He ran a hook on the first cone, and yeah, I'm not sure if other receivers were getting double teamed or triple teamed, but the play worked perfectly. So shout out to Ryan Wong making the right read and the right decision there. Yeah,
And if I'm
perfect
not
play in
mistaken,
overtime,
this
and
is
then they got
Wong Dynasty's first win of the season.
that too. What a way to
And
get it in overtime against
that's all it takes,
Taylor.
right? One to win, and then you go undefeated the rest of the way. Are they going to run the table and make the playoffs?
Run the table, no, make the playoffs. They have a fighting chance. Tough game coming up.
Yeah, very tough. Um, is that music coming from your house?
No, but can you pass it on to me?
You don't hear it?
No.
Maybe I'm hearing things. Spartans with a 65 to 12 huge win over the Big Booties. Uh,
Saw a bit of that
the
one too.
the Max Rosenfeld less Big Booties. Um, Titans pushing to 4-2. Phoenix big assets, very close game here. I heard Nick did do a better job of distributing the ball. It might not show on the stat sheet, but it's not Nick's fault, is what I was told.
Okay. Well, it's usually not never his fault, right? So
Well, you can't really blame him when his father's Kevin.
true. And I gotta say, well said. I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised with how Titans are doing this year, right? 4-2, usually, this, that, the other
Uh,
thing. They kind
4-2, it's a negative differential. So
of look, a
there's
win's
still
a
a
win and a
Titan
loss is
wrinkle.
a
There's a
loss.
Titan wrinkle there, right?
And like if you would have told me they started off 4-2, 6 games in, I would have taken it if I was them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's the new logo. It has to be the new logo. It's scarier than the other one.
It is quite fierce.
That's probably why they won the Battle of the Greek Warriors last week when Titans beat the Spartans, right?
It's true. I can't believe all people you forgot to talk about that game.
I know. Division 4.
Div 4, let's go.
Big win by les Alouettes against les Laveurs. Les Laveurs are much better than their record indicates. They're sitting at 5-1, unfortunately, last in the Division 4 standings. But they did put up 114 points through 6 games. I don't understand that. Lost a lot of close games, but they're definitely better than the record indicates. Mustard Tigers remaining undefeated at 13-7. But there's one game that we must talk about, and you know which one it is.
Yeah, game of the week, Underdogs Beerhood. So this was supposed to be like you said, or like we had mentioned in the previous podcast, a game for people to watch, people to enjoy. So look, it's we won't be there on the bush. I heard I was watching a bit of this game and of other games at the same time. I
The
wasn't playing.
expression, the elephant in the room. Let's address the elephant. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't address that big elephant in
Jorge, put up an elephant on the screen.
yeah, big elephant in a small room. So I watched a bit of this game, and I could tell it got heated. I wasn't, paying close attention just to that game. I was eyeing other games at the same time. And I heard, from several different people, from referees, from players that played in this game, that this game just got completely out of hand. And the things that I heard that were being said, and the things that I was told that were being said are absolutely unacceptable in the MFL. I know, look, Thierry and I, the MFL is more than just a game to us. We love playing, and we
Sure, I
play to
think
win.
uh, I think the majority of my friends and tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, for you too, come from the MFL. Like the people I talk to the most in my life, like the group of people I talk to the most in my life, are people that I met through the MFL.
100%, exactly, and that's how weirdly enough you and I met that one day at Loyola Park. We won't get
Yeah,
into that, but
unfortunately,
yeah, well said. But yeah, so we love the MFL. So it's an emotional game. Completely understand it. Teams play to win, and I go, and Terry goes, and obviously, people that love the game play to win, right? So it's not. I never bought the idea of let's just play, let's go. It's recreational. You play to win, but you play with pride and you play with respect towards your teammates. And I was very, very disappointed because I was
towards
really
your
looking.
teammates, the officials,
Yes,
your opponents, the
yes,
league, the
yes,
the
yes.
squirrels at the park,
The
the
squirrels at the
random
park,
homeless person that walks by.
the babies and young children in the water parks,
Yes.
the random
Be
people that
respectful. I feel like there's a one or two podcasts that I start off with some Mother Teresa type stuff, and I just said be nice. People are going through, right? People come this on Saturday to maybe get away from their stresses, the week-long stresses or other things, and you don't know what people are going through really. Like you could say one comment that to you seems maybe like nothing, but that could be like the last straw for them and really cause a fuss, right? So just be nice out there, right?
yeah, definitely. It really goes without saying. Look, and like we talked about off air, Terry, we've suspended players. We've banned
We've
some players.
banned, yeah.
Banned players from the league. Well, we'll talk about with the committee and everything. But from what I heard in this game, it's extremely disappointing. I don't even want to talk about the game itself. I just saw some very foolish behavior by certain individuals. We won't shout them out. If you guys listen to the podcast, I'm sure you know who you are. And let's not see that again, right? If these two teams meet again, I don't know if they meet again in the regular season. Chances are they meet in the playoffs. They're two very good teams. We're going to be very strict and make sure that none of that happens. But this should not be happening in any league, right? Let alone a league like the
Yeah.
MFL, where we preach, friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, family, being there for each other.
The hoods
Um,
that don't have genders.
Exactly, any hood, right? So basically, at the end of the day, it was sad to see and sad to hear. And we've been a part of different sports leagues in our life, and this happens from time to time. But what I heard in this game was pretty unacceptable. So A, I hope it doesn't happen again, and B, if it does, we'll think about suspending people, and C, maybe even banning people if it gets to the level they got in this game.
Very, very well said. I'm just gonna ask you to say everything again in French because both these teams are mainly francophone teams. So I don't
Okay.
think the message will get through.
Ah ben, alors, okay, Terry, actually, you're gonna have to do this one.
ChatGPT will help, but no, no, for real, everything will settle spot on. And ce qui s'est passé dans ce match-là n'a pas sa place dans la MFL. I'll
Why?
just leave it at that.
Like, people shouldn't be playing scared, right? You play to have a good time and to win, but you don't play to hurt people.
Well, why don't you want to talk about the game? Because you think they don't deserve it?
No, wait, I wouldn't mind talking about the game. I want to give 99% of my attention
Yeah.
to what happened and the 1%, I guess, of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
The only thing I'll say is that I just want to shout out Antoine Lévesque. 6 sacks in any game is crazy. On Quinton, it's crazier. I know he's maybe nursing an injury, but 6 sacks is insane.
there was some great crazy plays made in this. Like this could be a finals preview, and I'm not just saying that to throw flowers on both teams, but you got two teams that have a very good quarterback, two teams that obviously want to win and are emotional. But I saw nice plays being made left and right, fourth down stops, interceptions, sacks. So yeah, hopefully we get to see the better side of football when these two teams play again,
I,
if they do.
I think Mustard Tigers might have something to say about that.
6 sacks, eh?
No, no, Mustard Tigers might have something to say about that being a finals preview.
Oh, true. And also, if you look, talking about sacks, I don't know if you saw the Bandits Munster Tigers game, but we had a certain someone that got 6 sacks in that game. So
Oh
I don't
wow,
know.
Jiangsu.
Yeah, it was funny. After the game, Tyler was like, "Is he Jungsu?" And
What?
Tyler was like, "You won't believe what Jungsu did. This and that. He was diving everywhere. He was, doing this, doing
Very
that." Like
Tyler. He was like Tyler.
exactly right. Tyler obviously rushing in D1, so he knows a thing or two about the rusher position. But
Yeah.
look, when you're able to hold the team like the Bandits to 7 points, you're doing something well defensively.
So what would be your finals preview right now?
I would go okay. For real, for real. I would go. I love being put on the spot with stuff like this.
You do or you don't?
No, I actually love it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mustard Tigers and Spartans. So neither of the two teams I just mentioned before.
So yeah, maybe they'll be both semifinalists.
Yeah, yeah. I say Mustard Tigers and Spartans in the championship game.
And who takes it home?
Give me Sparty.
Oh yeah, Jeff Lawrence,
Give me Sparty.
D4 finals MVP.
Is that where? Yeah, trust. That's that where our boy Francesco plays, or he's on
D5.
D5 exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Well,
that change your pick?
nope, nope, no. The positive vibes spill out into Spartans and D4, and Spartans get the job done. Go Sparty.
And let's continue these positive vibes to D3. Quite a few blowouts in Division 3, except for our game. Very close game. I didn't catch any of the Witching Hour Hog Riders, but that was a blowout. Action Squad got a new quarterback while Goldrick recovers, and he's a baller. His name is Avery. 7 touchdowns in his quarterback this season debut. Didn't play quarterback. Oh no, he plays in Brossard. So I was gonna say he must have been a little rusty, but clearly not. Even if he hadn't played in Brossard, I don't think rust can happen on Avery. Um, Great ball distribution. I don't know if he's played with any of these guys, let alone more than probably one. And look at the chemistry with like everyone. Like you don't even have like one guy standing out. Well, Julian stands out with 3 touchdowns, but a bunch of guys with a bunch of receptions. And clearly they were too much for Nomad to handle. Um, I'm also very surprised with how badly Drama Club destroyed Fat Players because Fat Players are a very good team in this league. Um, yeah,
Yeah, to Audible Action Squad, yeah, Avery just looked like he was in his element, doing his thing. Like a D1 quarterback Action Squad were, like I said, were up in this game early and didn't look back. FAT players, yes, big loss to Drama Club. Kevin St. Pierre let me know about it because I
yeah.
believe
He
I
wanted to
had
talk to. He wanted you to talk about him. I think.
well, no, not him, about his team. He talked about, I believe my bold prediction was of FAT players before. I don't usually remember my bold predictions, but he was quick to let me know that my bold prediction was wrong. Drama Club won the game and won by 36. Not surprised Drama Club won, but I am very surprised in the way they won. Right, Leon throwing 5 interceptions in any game is surprising. But when you're able to limit Vincent Martel, one of the best receivers in this division, to 28 yards, Drama Club, I guess they knew what they needed to do to win, and they executed perfectly.
Yeah. And then our game, Tropic Thunder put up a good fight, man. Like it was really back and forth. It really helped us that Rob Boyd had another game at the same time, and it was not done on purpose. There was a conflict that was not mentioned to the league prior to the season, and it only got noticed midweek. And I honestly tried my best to move one of the games for him, and unfortunately, it wasn't possible at that point. So Rob did what Rob does best, playing 2 games. He did get the dub with Alouettes. He almost got the dub with Tropic Thunder, but I don't know if you noticed, but he probably did because he was lining up right in front of you. It was much tougher to move the ball on offense when he was on the field.
100%. Yeah, I remember there was you threw me a wheel route, and Rob was like right on my keister. Play was incomplete. But
Some
it's more.
wine
It's
spilled.
the what happened?
The wine spilled on you.
Yeah, the fine one was there exactly, but it's more than his athleticism, right? It's his knowledge of the game, his defensive play calling, and yes, it was both sides of the ball got affected with Rob being out. But we talked about this after game when we were having brunch. Justin at the quarterback position, very impressive. Yeah, he did throw those 2 interceptions in the game, but other than that, going 18 of 29, 190 yards, was able to buy time with his legs against John, who's a very good rusher, and honestly, I was really impressed with how this game went. Thomas Zvusky, our buddy, getting 3 sacks in the game. It's not easy
Yeah.
to sack you, and yeah, our offense was killing it. You had a great game, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick, took what the defense gave you, and this was a really really fun game. And I didn't think it would be this high scoring.
Yeah, me neither. I thought I thought it'd be like half the score. I thought it would be like a 20-17 game that goes one way or the other. I really wanted to shout out Thomas as well. Really well said about him. Are we playing Nomad later in the season? Because maybe he just decided to sub to try to get like a some notes for when we play Nomad in a few weeks.
We do.
Um, what?
We do June 21st. You're right.
Yeah. What do I want to say? Had something I wanted to say. Yeah, look at all these tackles. 10 tackles, 9, 9. It's crazy. When do you have three players that have 9 tackles in in the same game?
Wow, that is pretty insane.
And look, it was very close. We had some lucky bounces go our way on certain converts, especially. You and Alex Bailey were there to bail me out quite a few times. But this Tropic Thunder team's good, and I think they're better than their record indicates now, right? Um, Yeah, sitting at 2-4, they're at least a 500 team. One thing they need to stop doing, maybe, and that's probably why they're not at 500, is the PUNT word, right? I don't want to
Four-letter
say
word.
it because you're not supposed to say it. 'Cause it's not supposed to happen. If you say it, you're gonna accidentally say it in a game, and then you'll lose the game, right? I don't think a team who punts more than another team ever won a game in MFL history. I'm just kidding. It probably happened, but you get what I'm saying. First drive, uh, it says here it was 4th and 4, but it must have been closer to 4th and 3. Maybe it was 4th and 4. You don't punt the ball there, guys. You don't punt the ball there. And then later in the game, they punted it for a second time. I believe there were 10 minutes left, and they were losing by 2 points with 10 minutes left. It was 4th and 10. You think about it maybe a tad bit more, but I don't feel that's what's going to get you the dub, especially in a high scoring game like this where teams were scoring. Both teams were kind of scoring at will. Um, yeah.
Yeah, well, Alex Laroche, that makes everybody laugh. He made me laugh because I said, Alex, they're punting. He goes, yeah, why are you yelling at me? Why are you mad? We're getting the ball back. I was like, no, we don't
Well,
understand. They're punting.
yeah, I spoke to him at halftime, and I'm like, it really gets Will upset when other teams punt the ball. Like it's a thing. He wanted the doctor to get it checked, but they don't make medication for it yet. So like,
Not
if he
yet.
if Will hears punting, he's gonna start twitching, and he gets really angry at people that are very nice, like Alex. So, you guys have been warned.
It is the worst four-letter word out there. I know there's some strange four-letter words we shouldn't
Yeah,
say, but that is the worst four-letter
the
word
damn
out
P word.
there. Damn P. Erase it from vocabulary.
Yeah. All right, we're rolling here, eh?
Yeah, my gosh, what's happening?
Division 2.
Yeah, let's go. Two.
For this one, let's address the elephant in the room at the end.
Deal.
Okay. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was my bold prediction, or maybe not. Maybe I just spoke about it in the D2 segment. Remember my call was for Duck CIA?
That Ducks would win and score 50 plus.
No, that CIA would win by 1 point
Come on.
on the last play of the game.
Was it actually?
Yes, I went back to listen before the show.
But because you remembered it was something like that.
I think Jason mentioned something along that at the field after he won the game.
Wait, he mentioned something to me too, and I didn't really listen. I guess it was because of that. No, because
You
I was
probably
I was
you probably
writing
like brushed him off and said, "Yeah."
it. I think I was either playing or something. Sure, my bad, Jason. But no, okay, he told me they won, and I said, "Yeah, I saw." I mean, politely, but I guess that's what it was.
Yeah, I
It
killed
was
it.
it was
No.
literally the last. Well, did they score last play of the game, or did they get a stop?
Well, regardless if they scored or got a stop on the last play, you still won the game on the last play, right?
Oh gosh, see, yeah, but I wonder if you can debate that. But yes, you technically you're right.
But they scored on the last play, so
Okay. But you know what I mean? Let's say they stopped them on the last play of the game.
yeah, I get what you mean. But
I mean, technically they did win on the last play of the game.
yeah, crazy that Jason threw one interception more than touchdown and one more than Dave did, and they still won the game. So this definitely keeps CIA's playoff hopes alive. They're on a fiery 2-win streak right now. You see the fire outside? That's CIA Fusion. Uh, that's why there was so much fog and bad air quality at the field this weekend,
Yeah,
or not the
someone was
field, but like
saying that. I was like, what are people talking about here?
yeah. They're like, did you think about canceling the games? I'm like, what? Um,
Bro, we'll play if rocks are falling from the sky.
Pretty much. Um, Yeah, but great game by both teams. It sucks that I have to be a loser in this one, right? Antoine Bussell, 2 touchdowns. Dave, 17 of 30. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. On defense, you had Matsis with 2 picks, Drysdale and Tristan with a sack apiece. Ben Faubert getting a pick six in this game. Um,
I saw there was a sick pick six. I saw that one. What else did I see?
oh, and Jared also got a pick six, who also got the game-winning convert.
Wow, that one I didn't see. But like you said, huge. We talk about okay, this game they won by 1 point. If Ducks won, would have kept their season alive. I don't want to say their season's over, but it's going to be a heck of a hill to climb. But yes, like CIA Fusion now within, I guess you'd say a game, right? Because it's like two half games
Well, they're
within.
half a game. Oh no, they're 1 game behind Double Dippers as well.
Yeah, so like, so yeah, same numbers wins as Phoenix, but Phoenix has 2 games in hand. Look, this could be dangerous. And we talked about it, the quarterback change midway through the season, maybe not necessarily midway through the season. They get a bye this week, so hopefully for them, Phoenix and Double Dippers don't win, but then you have Rossos right behind. This can be a tight finish. This can be tight. I think, unfortunately, except for Ducks. And then you have the top 2 teams battling for that bye. So buys are up for grabs, playoff spots up for grabs, but game of the week, especially in Div 2, was the CIA's slim victory. It was a very emotional game, too. Very emotional game.
You saw the emotions?
Yeah, like yelling, let's go, like all in good fun. But it was nice
Okay,
to see
the way it should be in the MFL.
the way it should be.
Not like that D4 game that we spoke about earlier.
Not like that D4 game.
Good. Um, let's go to Double Dippers Raw Sauce. I think Double Dippers didn't double dip enough in this game. Look, I'm not surprised Rossos won the game. We saw it firsthand how well they played against Finns up the week before, and how good they can play. Looks like they played just as well, if not better, in this game. I'm surprised by the fact that they won by 14 points against this very good Double Dippers team, right? I know they're missing a few players. Victor Davis wasn't there. That's a huge piece. Simon's still dealing with that injury. Hope he comes back soon. Mason Miller is another huge piece, and Rich, obviously. So I know that they're missing a lot of their key guys, but still, they have enough depth on this team to score more than 26 points and give up fewer than 40. What say you, William?
Well, that's a very good point. I was going to say what's more impressive is the fact that Rossall scored 40 points, right? Ludwig going for 6 TDs, almost 250 yards.
Didn't
You know,
they score like 33 on you guys last week?
yeah, but our defense is like dog. But Ludwig, not the best completion percentage, but he was airing that thing out, 11 yards per completion. I love the ball distribution. Right, 4 catches for Marc Antoine, 6 for their wide receiver one in Gab Boucher, 3 catches for Yvon Deschamps. Then you got 80 yards, 61 yards, 40 yards. You have 4 receivers getting a touchdown, several receivers getting an extra point, and Yvon getting a 2 point conversion. And yeah, Ludwig, I think statistically this may be his best game of the season. I think it's their first game scoring that many points. So his first game with 6 TDs, I believe, because they scored 39 against CIA, 32. Oh no, wait. Oh, this from the past, eh?
Yeah, I'm looking at his best seasons, his best stats, like his records.
So 39 was the most points ever scored. No.
No, it's the most touchdowns ever. 39 points is the most points he scored in a game where he scored 6 touchdown passes.
Okay, well, okay, so it's still one of his better games.
Yeah. You weren't that far off.
Yeah, I love that. And the getting, it's the two-headed monster in Yvon and Gab Boucher, but be able to get a guy like Marc Antoine 80 yards and 4 catches, that could
Yeah,
be an even more dangerous team than we expected.
must have been a 45 bomb there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Just as I thought. Um, yeah, seriously, one of the things that we spoke about Ross is that they have such a big roster and they have to like rotate a bunch of guys. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. There were just 8 guys. They had 4 guys missing. Um, but yeah, Eric leading the way, 6 for 94, 2 touchdowns, a 2 point convert, doing everything he can with all those muscles, but unfortunately not enough to lift the whole team to victory. Um, like Dave Brisson doesn't look like he played a bad game. And usually he's able to go pound for pound, score for score in these high scoring games. We've seen him do it numerous times before, right? But this was a game maybe he needed his defense to hold their own a little bit more. They could not do that. And Raw Sauce are now still outside of the playoffs, but with 2 wins instead of one.
Exactly. That's one more win than they had last week. So Um, a team that could be up on the rise. And we talked about CIA keeping their season alive. Rossos doing the same at 2-4. And I think that, like we talked about, this team can beat anyone, could lose to anyone. So who do they have their next game? Ooh, Phoenix. That's gonna be a big one, right? That's gonna both teams at 2 victories.
Yeah, huge game with huge playoff implications. Phoenix will start off red hot,
Yep.
flying in the air with 2 wins, going back down. But you know what a Phoenix does, right? You know what a Phoenix does. We spoke about this more than once.
Oh, yeah, that is true. A Phoenix flies and the Phoenix spits fire.
Um, 2 losses, 2 straight losses now coming off that bye. Um, Rejects are a very good team. Dobbs 35 of 44, 341 yards. I don't even know how many you could throw for so many yards in a game. 7 touchdowns, no picks. Look, Chris didn't have a bad game himself. Clean game, 0 interceptions, 5 touchdowns, over 200 yards. Alec Gregoire leading the way with 3 touchdowns, 99 yards on 6 catches. Yeah, JF Laurence also 5 for 49, a touchdown. Um, but this was the reject show, right?
Well, it's
Giovanni
back.
6 for 81, 2 touchdowns, 2 1 point converts. Ali getting a touchdown himself. Eric moving those chains, 6 for 44, 3 total touchdowns in this game.
It's that's obviously a team effort there, but look, that's back-to-back weeks where back-to-back games where Phoenix gave up at least 46 points, right? 46.
Yeah, you can't put the loss on the offense, right? 34 points
That's what I
is
mean.
not 34 points. I won't say is like a surefire you should win in Division Two, but it gives you a good enough chance to win the game in Division Two. Like
I'd
I
say
think more often than not, you should win more games than lose if you put up 34.
I'd say if you put up 34 points, you have like a 58% chance to win in
Yeah,
Div
I
2.
say you go 6-4. If you put up
Yeah,
34 points in every game, you'll go at least 6-4.
yeah, exactly. And look, I like Guaga, a guy who I've been continue to be a huge fan of, an absolute speedster. And then you got JF, you got Kevin Kuse, Baby Kuse, you got Jose too. So this is a team that has the pieces. And who else were they missing in this game? Missing Josh as well.
Yes, and Francis. But you said it. We know what the issue is. There's one too many Kuses on this team.
I would argue there's too many Kuses on the team.
uh, I know you said you don't want to put me on the spot, but you haven't done that yet, so I'll put you on the spot.
I love it.
Uh, what?
I love it.
Rejects are sitting at 4-2. I think it's safe to say they're top three, arguably top two, right now after that victory. Um, their next game comes against, I think they have a double header, if I'm not mistaken. No. So that game comes against Average Joe's, who we'll talk about shortly. Undefeated, best team in the division right now, hands down. Even though, okay, I'll talk about it later. Actually, I'll say it right now. So we love Kevin's articles, right?
No, I don't like them anymore.
Look,
Honestly, I don't like them anymore.
look
They're
who was number one in his power rankings this past week.
wait. This is after the games
No,
that
no,
happened
this is
before.
before the games that happened this past weekend.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
Yeah,
Uh, and Finn's up second, I see third.
yeah.
But then in his game picks, look who he picked to win the game.
Well, I don't know who Finn's ups is. Well, look, yeah. Like I don't necessarily disagree with that. You could have a team that's better on paper or that's ahead that
But
wins.
if you're
But
saying that right now that team's ahead on the power rankings, how could you predict them to lose against a team that's behind them in the power rankings?
no, I've seen Kevin do worse things. I think we'll let that one slide, except for
Okay,
the fact he
so
doesn't know how to spell.
well, ChatGPT doesn't know how to spell. So we'll go to the question. Rejects are playing against average Joes. Ryan Dobbs having a phenomenal season, 24-0. It's
Holy cow! He hasn't thrown a pick.
He hasn't thrown a pick, and some quarterbacks have thrown 18 of them this season. Okay, even the best of the best in the division, excluding Ryan, who are Jason, Guillaume, Steve. The the fewest picks they've thrown are 5. So like, if you're averaging a pick a game or less, I'd say that's elite. But do you agree? Like, if you finish the game with the season with single digit interceptions in this division, seeing how things are going, you're an elite quarterback in Division Two. Is
Wow,
that
that's
fair?
crazy.
But
Yes. He had mentioned it a while back. He had 0 picks, but I think that was
yeah, when
like,
you mention after one game, it's okay. But like,
yeah,
we're
I
talking
think
about
it was his
6 games
fourth game.
now.
But yeah,
Yeah, we're talking
wow,
about
for real. That's incredible. Like that's
so,
more than just protecting the ball, right? Because he still throws 24 touchdowns, right? That's
and it seems 4-2, and they're
four
averaging a lot
touchdowns
of
a
points a
game.
game.
Yeah,
And he put up
wow.
340 yards, so you're airing the ball out quite a bit. He had 50 something attempts or whatever. Yeah, leading the league in attempts by quite a bit. So the question of the day, or of the segment, or just me putting you on the spot. What's
Yeah.
more important for Ryan Dobbs in week 7? Is it getting that W against average Joes, or is it not throwing a single interception in the game?
I'm gonna say
If
not
it's
three. No, no,
if it's
no.
red pill and blue pill, and red pill is not throwing a pick, and blue pill is getting the W. But you can't have both. They're mutually exclusive. You either win the game with an interception, or you lose the game with no interceptions.
That's the Matrix, eh?
Yeah, with the picks in the MFL and Ryan Dobbs being in it.
No, like the red pill, blue pill,
Yeah.
like from the
Well,
movie.
it's also a meme that you see often, and I have a good
Well,
one to share that.
yeah, I saw the Matrix for the first time about a year ago for school.
Okay.
But I say no. I say Dobbs is a team guy. More important thing, he takes whichever pill gives him.
You cut off there for the
No,
suspense.
I say Dobbs takes the pill that gets him the W, even if he throws 5 picks.
You sure about
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure about that.
that? Okay,
But that's only if he throws 10 or more touchdowns.
okay. I mean, honestly, at this point, if he throws 4 picks or less, he'd still be like leading statistically. So, um, not to put too much pressure on you, but no matter how the rest of the season plays out, it's been hella impressive thus far.
Agreed. Okay, so we haven't done really picks in a while. We used to do that pick where I used to have to put the thing on the Facebook. We kind of forgot. Final
It's always
score of this
forgot that
game.
we have like a million teams now, so like doing the picks is like a lot longer, and you are forgetting way too often.
Yeah, preach. Okay, let's go quickly. 15 seconds each. Who wins this game? Score.
You want to do all the games in D2?
No, 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 no. Psych, bro. Just
There's
that one.
only
Just that one.
three.
Yeah, yeah, but that's too many. Let's say rejects average Joe score prediction. I'm going 36-34. Not so average Joe's.
I'm going 41-31 average Joes, and Dobbs does not throw a pick.
Okay, so he's still happy at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Man, that's a
if
good
you're
game.
picking against average Joes,
No, no, average Joe's win.
okay. So I say not so. Oh, because
No,
they're
I
not average.
exactly because they're above average.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Um, and what's your score? 36 what?
36-34 Joe's.
Quick question. Did Double Dippers bounce back and get a win against Nice CDs? It's gonna be a tough
Nope.
one.
Nope.
And then they're on a bye the week after, and another bye the week after. So
Mm,
their next win might be against Phoenix in a month from now.
holy cow. Well, they got a lot of buys. Make that football count, boys. Big weekend dippers.
Hopefully, Simone Dumas is back by then.
Yeah, preach shout out to our boy.
Okay, so let's talk about this game. And you want me to get the good, the bad, or the ugly out of the way first?
We always get the worst out of the way first. Save the best for last, Mom always said.
So the ugly,
Yeah. Yeah.
how the hell does Finzev give up 52 points? Like, not because average Joe's are amazing offense, but in any game, like, how does that defense get? Like, you guys have good players. How do you guys give up 52 points in a game? That's the
You
ugly
know,
for me.
yeah. Answer it live or I wait for your other questions.
No, no, you can answer live. We'll do one at a time.
You know what it is? There's a few things. First thing I'm going to say is Jason is not the Jason that we remember from the COVID days where Marvin would laugh at and
Bro,
Flash
that
would laugh.
Jason lasted like a minute. Like that Jason was he hasn't been that Jason for like a
No,
few
no,
years
no.
now.
Well, yes, I agree, but I'm not sure how much of that people believe. But I think now we can honestly say that, like, statistically, he was the real deal for the last few seasons. And he has been this entire season undefeated, and like you said, he was in this game, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks. What I love about Jason, I was talking about it with Ryan after the game, is he does such a good job trusting his receivers, right? If there's a one-on-one matchup, he'll trust his receiver, whether it's Jeff, Justin, Jason, to go up and get that ball. He's not afraid of throwing interceptions. In this game, he threw two, but he shakes it off easily, right? One of them was kind of a head scratcher interception, but he doesn't let that phase him, and I feel like in the past he may have let that happen. 8-2, that 4-to-1 ratio of touchdown to interception is very impressive. We'll talk about how the game ended afterwards, but yes, obviously it was a really bad game defensively for us. 2 picks is great, but giving up 52 points is unacceptable. They had, I believe it was a minute or less to run that to run the minute drill, if you want to say, at the end of the game. They ended up scoring the touchdown. But Jason is not the Jason that the negative Jason we thought he was in terms of, that's going to be good. And he'll have his off games. He doesn't really have off games anymore. Two, he does a great job trusting his receivers, and three, his receivers make plays for him. Jeffrey at the end of the game made a sick catch. I believe it was a corner out, kept both feet in bounds. DeChesney kind of was hitting him out of bounds. He kept his composure, caught the ball. So it's a lot of Jason making plays, Jason trusting his receivers, and the receivers making great plays, and our defense just playing like ass.
I think the last part, the last thing you just said is what summarized like the answer to my question, basically.
What?
Like you guys playing like ass is probably just the answer to my question.
Yeah, I went through. I tried to beat around the bush as much as I
Yeah,
could.
a bit too much, bro.
Yeah,
So I did the ugly, now it's the bad, right?
yeah, yeah. Bad. That's next.
So a little birdie or a little Finn came to tell me that these average Joe's players have been playing the league for quite some time now, right? And apparently they were not aware that the games last an hour and a half. Like I heard rumor has it that they were under the impression that we were maybe a different league where games only last an hour and they're scheduled like every hour and whatnot. But I'm glad to let them know now that they're getting a much better bang for their buck in this league, paying a good price to get an hour and a half worth of games. Because in the MFL, the games last on average like an hour 15, an hour 20. It's rare that we see a game last under an hour 10, even like in a complete blowout. Just like an FYI, time stops on every single touchdown, and there were a lot of them in this game. Time stops on every interception, change of possession. I'm guessing there were no punts. Were there any turnover on downs?
I
Oh yeah,
think,
two,
yeah,
three, four. How the hell were there four turnover on downs in this game when the quarterback combined for 100 points and 15 touchdowns? That
four
means you guys could
turnover
have.
on downs and four interceptions, but there was 100 total points.
Yeah, but the four interceptions could have led to quicker touchdowns the other way. So like it nullifies out. Like
True.
it wouldn't have been four more touchdowns had there not been four interceptions. But the four turnover on downs, maybe there could have been at least another touchdown apiece. Anyway, all that to say that games in the NFL last like an hour 10 to an hour 20 on average. Um, Especially when there's this many touchdowns. There was also quite a few flags thrown on the field. That also stops the time if you're the non-offending team and you get it stopped. Um, Time is stopped throughout the whole convert. So there were what 15 convert plays, and a convert play takes about what a minute to play because like the touchdown is scored, time stops. The whole convert play goes through, time is stopped. The time only starts not when the ref blows in the whistle on the next first down play, when the ball is snapped. So I'd say that's like 2 minutes. So times 15 touchdowns, that's like 30 minutes of time being stopped on converts alone. So right there, you're like, I'm honestly shocked this game did not pass like an hour and a half, let alone go over a certain amount of time. So yeah, but I'm glad they now know that like they get much more football out of playing in the MFL because it's great. Like you're not like another league where it's rushed and then they have to like shave time off the clock because like there's another reservation of soccer players coming in after. So it is it's a positive. I said it's the bad, but it's actually a positive to learn this new information after being in the league that you love for so long.
Well, that's the thing, right? And a lot of it depends on, like, let's say if it was a lower scoring game, right? You have a game that finishes 7-6, it's probably going to last quite a bit shorter than a game that finishes 52-48. This game had everything to make it as long as it was, right? Like, games won't be much longer than this one was because, like you said, there was the 15 total touchdowns, there was the four interceptions, there was the four turnover on downs, there were flags thrown. So, at the end of the day, when you look at MFL and
Yeah,
like, I was surprised too with the back and forth there was in this game, and then like when the game ended, like, well, it's a bit above average, but when you see and you actually go play by play, there's a reason this game took so long, and
yeah.
yeah.
Not to mention that when you like tell off an official and you're like asking for explanations and getting mad at an official, like the time could stop there too. So like I heard there was a lot of that as well. So enough talking about the bad. Let's get to the good. In all honesty, when Jason sent me the roster this season, nothing against the guys he put in, but this roster did not have an Avery that they had last season. This roster did not have James Infantino, who I think was Defensive Player of the Year in Division One or two last fall. Two studs that were not included in this team. Yes, he rounded out the team with other great players like Jeff who was not there and Justin White who were not there last fall. And they do have amazing players already, but like losing a James and losing an Avery to a team that last fall I think had the same amount of victories as they have now No, they had one more victory through 10 games than they have now. So like I
Mm,
thought they would struggle a little bit. And not a knock against them. Division 2 is very, very difficult. And one thing that I think I spoke to you about before the game is that Jason's a great quarterback. He's really good, but he doesn't have that statement win in the higher divisions, right? He has a great season. He makes some noise in the playoffs, but he didn't have like a deep. I mean, I could be wrong. I know he won Division 3, but never had like a deep playoff run since he's been playing Division 2. And playing against an experienced quarterback like Steve, a decorated quarterback like Steve, this really cemented Jason as like one of the better quarterbacks in the MFL to me. In the top, going up against Fins Up, Steve, guys like you, Simon, Remy, Max on this team, Ben Denis, Rob White, Ryan, like there's no bad players on this team. I don't understand how you give up 52 points. Scoring 8 touchdowns in any division is crazy, but to put it up against a team like Fins Up, who preseason was probably top two, championship or bust type season, now it's the tide has turned and it's championship or bust. I think for average Joes, um, sitting where they're sitting. And look, I think a few podcasts ago, episodes ago, I did like give some props to Jason, but I didn't think he could impress me even more than he had 2 or 3 weeks ago when I spoke about him, right? Since I spoke about, because I think I didn't even mention 50. I think I spoke about consistently putting up 30 to 40 points a game. And he won up that and shot a 50 burger out against one of the best teams in Division Two. And this game had everything, right? It had high intensity. I mean, even in a pickup scrimmage game, there'll be high intensity coming from the average Joes, and you'll see the smoke. We spoke about the smoke coming from where? Where do we speak? We said there's smoke coming from.
the Wild. Oh, Phoenix?
Oh
No,
yeah, no.
no.
It was like a half an hour
Dart
ago.
throwers? No, not dart throwers.
No, that's gonna bug me.
Smoky sandwiches? No, we can talk about smoky sandwiches.
Why do we say those smoke? They caused the smoke. Oh, CIA Fusion were on fire. Man, it was in the same segment. It was in Division Two. We spoke about this like 5
Holy cow,
minutes.
it's been long.
Thank God I remember. So yeah, we spoke about CIA's fire, but I think it was like the small fire, and then the big fire was Average Joe's. Um, And look at the ball distribution. It's not as if he like relied on one guy only. Like he had one, two, three, four, five guys with a touchdown. Obviously, Jeff getting 3 touchdowns. You're down. You're up at half by 8 points. Finds up, climb back. You give him the ball back with like less than a minute. They score to take the lead. You get the ball back with 20 seconds. You get an unsportsmanlike penalty pushing you back, and you still find a way to win the game. Not that Jason needed more to impress me, but if there was like one thing that unchecked box, like there aren't none anymore right now for me.
Yeah.
Being put in that spot and coming up with the W, even though they would have came short, I would have been tremendously impressed. Coming up with the W at the end of this is I call it the good, but it's like the greater, like even better than that. So
I think you said it well. Like putting up a fight against a team like Fins Up that we've obviously it was our first loss of the season that's undefeated. It's great to put up a fight and keep it close, but they jumped over that edge that you want them to jump over, right? To
mhm.
prove that like they're not messing around, that they are right now the best team in this division. And it's crazy. I didn't realize there was only 21 seconds left when they got the ball back. We kind of thought the game was over when DeChesney scored that TD.
Did they have
21
timeouts?
seconds. They had at least two. I believe they had all three of them. But they had at
They weren't
least
calling them before.
they had at least two timeouts on that drive, on the last drive. I think they even had three. And like you said, it was against all odds, right? 21 seconds left. And then like 13 passes. Just that 23-yard catch by Jeff was the big one. And then yes, the incomplete pass that I believe it was a bomb to Justin. He dropped. Was close to catch, no catch. They called incomplete. Devin let the ref know what he thought about that. Pushed them 10 yards further, and then that 15-yard bomb to Justin was just. It was a nice play on. It was Jason just put enough air under the ball. Justin did a great job tracking it. The ball was in the air, and I just saw Justin's eyes light up, and I was like, "Oh no, this is not good." And this is a statement win by Average Joe's, and this is just a clutch win. And I don't think this is a team that is going to be a regular season, juggernaut, and then come playoff time, maybe a team that gets picked on. Like you said perfectly,
Uh,
it's championship or bust.
if I have a predicted this team's going to the finals. I don't know if they're going to play in the finals. Like my finals prediction preseason was nice to spins up. Now it's average Joes are in the finals. And anything short than that is failure.
They
And
have
I
this
think
one.
I know it's a lot of pressure, but I hope they would agree with me. The guys in average Joe's like I think it's a fair thing to say about right now. And if you don't find it fair when you're sitting at 5-0, leading the division, not only in like points for, but also like have a good defense. Um, I think. you're not being realistic.
I mean, look at that 91 point differential. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Talking about this game.
Yeah, bounce back for us. Big game by Ben Denis. Ben Denis gets the game ball. Two big interceptions in this game. One of them it was, I believe, a post route to Andrew. He read it and stood stride for
What
stride with
route?
them. Post.
Oh,
And then there was, I think there's a wheel
is it?
route
Wait,
with.
wait, wait, let's talk about that a little longer. Staying stride for stride with Andrew on any route is impressive.
I know, like the ball was in the air, and you see Andrew, and you're like, wow, like Denis kind of right there, and the ball gets is like a jump ball-ish, and Ben Denis catches it in the end zone. I can't remember if he took a knee or not, but the ball was thrown into the end zone,
And
and
then
yeah, Ben made a great play on that one. It was very impressive.
getting like the pick is even more impressive. And then like securing the catch when Andrew's like I'm sure it was wrapped all around him.
Yeah, yes, it was not an easy catch. He was the being draped. He was like the receiver in that play. Andrew tried to knock it down, couldn't. He had another reception earlier in the game on a wheel. This was a close game. It was a good back and forth. Defenses. I don't know if you saw the scoring chart, but first half, I believe there was a combined
Oh my.
56 points, and
You guys
then
didn't want to play in the second half? Like it was just like let's let the clock roll and
we're gonna milk
were there
that
punts in the
Celtics
game?
tomorrow.
Don't tell me there were
Yeah, it was.
punts.
It didn't actually. No, of course there was no punts, but it didn't actually feel like it
You
was that
never
low
know with
scoring in the
Guillaume.
second half. Yeah, that's true. But it didn't feel like it was a low scoring second half, but it was. Their defense played great. Our defense played a bit better. And yeah, I think again for us it was a team effort. Steve, clean game, 6 touchdowns, no picks. DeChesney, a huge touchdown on 4th and 11. It was like a 46-yard touchdown because we were at our
And
4 yard line.
that's why you don't punt on fourth down, right?
Exactly, that's right. Try and tell the folks that was the play of the game.
They just don't listen, right? Where was it?
Oh,
Here.
yep, fourth down, fourth and yeah, we were up
You
by
you
five,
you
fourth and
guys were
11.
up five. Like I feel you put a survey in the MFL players, up five, a minute to go. What do? I 80% will take they punt.
But look, you're right. But our logic, well, I never ever punt. So if I had to explain why I wouldn't logistically in that
I know what you're gonna say.
logically, in that sense, you get the ball back quicker if they score.
Yeah, like worst case if they score, you still have the opportunity to score after because you still have your three timeouts probably, and there's about a minute left.
Exactly. You
Um,
assume there's going to be at least a minute left.
but what they'll tell you is that we'll punt the ball. There's only a minute left. We'll play prevent defense, and they won't march on the field and score on us.
Yeah, that don't work. That don't work, brother.
Um, oh yeah, I know you told me Steve gave you shit in this game. Average Joe spins up, but I noticed something. Sorry, I didn't say it because I don't want to cut you off. But you guys scored on first down with 21 seconds left. You guys could have like wasted a play or two and probably win the game on the last play.
And you know me, I'm not a fan of wasting
I know
plays.
you're not. I know you're not.
Oh,
But
and
the
to
man,
21 seconds, most teams aren't scoring even if they have 8 timeouts left. It's
yeah,
21 seconds.
21 seconds are long in the MFL. We literally spoke about the 101 reasons why the time could stop.
True. But don't an incomplete pass ain't one of them. And going out of bounds ain't one of them.
Nico getting 10 tackles. Did he actually get 10 tackles in this game?
I think it was 11.
Okay. Well, the other one was a sack. No, the sack includes it counts the tackle too. Um, yeah, so where does this leave Nice TDs now? Losing twice already to Fins Up, their rival here, sitting at 3-3. Obviously, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, unless something disastrous happens. But I really thought they'd be one of the top dogs in like the top three race right now. But clearly, I don't think you can make an argument to place them ahead of Rejects, Fins Up, or Average Joe's right now. I think they're clearly ahead of Double Dippers, even though they have the same record. Their
Mhm.
next game is against Double Dippers. That's a huge game. Then playing Average
That's gonna
Joe's
be a big
and
one.
Rejects. The schedule is not easy for them to end out these last four games. I was expecting Niceties to have a better record at this point. What say you?
Agreed. Right, this is much better than a 500 team. 3-3. They had a tough, start to the season at 0-2. We said this may be the best 0-2 team ever. I'm not sure what it is because defensively they're strong, offensively they're strong. I think sometimes when they don't click, it's sometimes just get into each other's heads and maybe about it becomes a mental game at that point. But yeah, no, this team is way better than 3-3.
Well said. Last but not least, Division Uno.
Let's go.
Last but not least, going out to cash prize.
Div.
What the heck is that?
You gave it to me, no?
I don't think so.
Look, Div 1.
Did I get you that?
It's not Tua, it's TD.
Did I get you that?
Wait, I don't know. Yeah, you did, I think. But you know what TD stands for?
The something.
It's not touchdown, it's the dolphin.
What a stupid
Original, right?
mascot name. Like you can't even tell it's a freaking dolphin. They asked the name of the dolphin.
Right, those who cheer
Oh
for the Dolphins
boy.
have strange minds.
Um. Okay. Idaho demolished Les Lanceurs. I don't know if Idaho. Surprised they didn't message league. Hey, can we get some competition in Division One? Hopefully it's coming your way. Brady scoring 7 touchdowns. There was a stat error there that did not get corrected yet. 4-0. Their closest game has been the one against you guys.
No, Villains
No,
week
week
one,
one. Yeah. So they're
26.
playing the unit, Outlaws, the unit, and then Arnolds again. Hopefully a better Arnolds version than we saw in week five. So they will face a bit more competition coming up. Um, do they go undefeated?
I don't think so. It's tough. You're playing Outlaws twice, you're playing Unit twice.
It'd
KOB
be
can
bad
score.
for you to say, yeah, they go undefeated knowing they play you again. I mean, they will beat you, but like you can't say it on air, right?
Well, no, I mean it's an automatic loss when they play Iron Wolves. No, no, no. But for real, Div One, like when you have a team like the Unit, you play against Steve. It's gonna be tough to beat the Outlaws twice. Maybe you split there. So I think they finish first place, but I don't think they go undefeated.
I I would say the over unders probably 8.5, and I'm taking the over.
That's fair. I
Wins
think
on the season.
yeah, I think it's either 8-2 or 9-1.
I think they go 9-1 at the very least.
I mean, it's historic what they're doing. That's no other.
Which part of it? Like the way they're blowing out teams Division One?
Yeah, I think the way their defense is playing, the way their offense is
Yeah.
playing, the
Like to
point
put up
differential,
plus one for yeah. Um. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about this.
bro. This is
I
crazy.
I saw Ashton throwing. I mean, I didn't see him throwing. I saw Ashton threw in the stats, and I asked the scorekeeper, was it really Ashton that threw? Because he's been in the league for quite some time now, and I don't think he's ever thrown before. And to put up a 26 of 33, 279, 7 tutties, and like I like to say so often, the most important stat as a quarterback and as a new quarterback is that zero interceptions to define a clean game. Like really, like I fell off my chair. Like hats off to Ashton. That's crazy. You put up those numbers in any division, it's insane. You're putting up these numbers in Division One. That's like I can't even describe it. And then as a guy who's never really ever played quarterback before, like is Vinny's job in trouble?
I don't think it is just because Ashton is one of the best receivers in the entire
but
MFL.
but maybe he got the maybe he wants to throw now after that game.
Yeah, I think Vinny's not a bad receiver himself, but I don't know why Ashton doesn't strike me as a guy that would be, very good at playing quarterback. But like this was like incredible. I was speaking to Tyler again after the game. We spoke quite a bit. Looked like an absolute baller. Like it was as if he played quarterback his whole life. He's only played quarterback. He's never played receiver. It's incredible when you have a guy that's that good of a quarterback that's also good of a receiver and vice versa. I wish I saw this game. I didn't. I think I was getting coffee, but like this is unbelievable. So now they know if ever God forbid something happens to Vinny or he goes on vacation, you have Ashton that can quarterback, and you still have a pretty good receiving group in Andrew, Jeremy, KJ, Sean Haney, and James Colley. So this was incredible. I really hope we get to see Ashton throw again this
And
year.
like it was great ball distribution too, man. He did everything that like a veteran experienced quarterback would do. And like even these veteran experienced quarterbacks in the MFL throw picks, unless your name's Ryan Dobbs. Um,
Yeah, for real.
but it's crazy, and it's crazy that Villains threw no picks in this game and didn't score more points. That
Well
ball
said.
hawking defense didn't get. I guess Tyler was getting the sacks before that the defense could get the pick. That's probably why they didn't get more picks. But seriously, Ashton, like, bro, put in a team in Division Two as quarterback next season or something, man. Like this is nuts. Like this is like almost like unseen, right? Like we see guys that like have never played quarterback go in Division Three and Four and ball out, but not in Division One, man. Like this is like props, man.
And to throw the same amount of incompletions as touchdowns like that in itself
Yeah,
is insane.
yeah. You remember I actually had another bold prediction Division One last week. Do you remember what it was?
Okay, I think you said Raccoons winning. That I remember,
Yeah.
and they'd score at least 60.
No, I said Raccoons would win by the exact same score
Oh
that they
yes,
lost to KLB earlier, which did not happen. But then I also said that Guillaume in that game had 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he would have 7 touchdowns again, but no picks. and that would be the difference. And that was considered bold. But what did Guillaume do? He's like, no, 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 that ain't bold, Terry. I had 8 touchdowns and no picks. I got you your donut, 0 interceptions like you wanted. Take the donut, but I'll one up you and get 8 touchdowns. If I'm throwing one fewer interception, I could throw one extra touchdown.
I was walking to the coffee shop and checking the score, and it was like instant fresh 6 points raccoons, fresh 6 points raccoons. It was the Dave St. Jean Guillaume show. I think Guillaume is ready for Div 1. I know he messaged us saying maybe I'm not ready. It looks like he's ready for Div
He
1.
messaged you too?
No, I didn't. I think he knows he's ready for Div 1. I don't think he
No,
needs
but
to
he
be
messaged
told.
you to ask you if you said he was
No,
not
no, no.
ready.
When he
Okay.
messaged you,
Yeah, and Dave St.
yeah,
Jean, 4 touchdowns, all 4 catches, all 4 touchdowns.
I believe he had 2 interceptions as well. Player of the game, Dave St. Jean slash Guillaume. This was absolutely nuts. We talk about putting you on the spot, Terry. Raccoons are a new team in this division. There are 3 new teams in this division. There are 3 teams that don't make the playoffs in this division. Do Raccoons make the playoffs in Division 1?
Hey, you're not gonna like my answer. I know you want to put me on the spot, but it might sound bold, but the way the 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 waves are waving right now, like you can't say
Don't
that
say it! Don't say
you
it!
can't say that Raccoons do not have a better shot at making the playoffs than Iron Wolves. Let me quickly take a look at their schedules, and I'll confirm or sink some nonsense. Yeah, loss, win. So it's gonna come down to week 8,
Yeah,
right here.
that's gonna be
The winner of this game is gonna make the playoffs. Mark my
a
words.
9 a.m. game, bro. Stop that nonsense.
um, Commissar, Villains. Yeah, they have an easier schedule, man. They're not playing Outlaws. Or you guys already played Outlaw. They're not playing Outlaws again. They're not playing the unit twice. Look, it's coming down to that game. I'm telling you.
Fair enough,
Um,
man. Fair enough.
I guess you didn't think it through when you put me on the spot. Look, bro, yeah,
Oh no,
you have.
I knew exactly what I was doing.
Oh, you're trying to fire up your boys. That's what you're doing.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I
You need
mean,
that slap in the call, slap in the face, wake up call because you're playing against the Outlaws.
you could
This
have said Idaho Outlaws KLB or the unit will miss the playoffs. I didn't know.
Honestly, KLB after starting 4-0 and dropping 2 straight games, it's not a given. Um, they had a similar meltdown last season where I forgot how much NO they started, but it was quite a few victories and 0 losses. So last season they were 1-0, 2-0. Okay, they were 2-0, 2-1. Oh yeah, they were 2-1, and then they avenged their loss to a team 3-1. So they started 3-1. It wasn't that bad, but I think they lost a couple of games in a row at the end of the season, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they went on a 4-game losing streak. What were they? So yeah, they were 4-2,
Yeah,
and they lost 4 straight games in the season, right?
yeah. They had lost to Pocket Rockets, but I believe at that point their season was already over.
Yeah, but a loss is a loss. They're 4-2 right now. I don't think they'll lose 4 straight games, but I'd have a little PTSD,
Fair, fair, fair.
especially if we're talking about that one team that's going to miss the playoffs. And let's not count Villains or Ransar out, right? Like you asked
Right,
me,
yeah.
like what did you ask me? Which team? What was your question?
I said, well, Raccoons make it.
Yeah, so like I still think Villains and Ransar have a shot, right? Like look at Iron Wolves that are sitting at 1-2. They're not comfortable there. They're really not comfortable. They're playing Outlaws this week. They're not comfortable at all.
We got a doubleheader this week.
Yeah,
Hey, okay, I'm gonna make an executive decision. We're gonna do bold predictions, both in Div 1.
I see why.
Okay.
I was gonna say Iron Wolves lose both games, but that's not bold at all. You want me to go first?
No, I'm gonna go first, and that was very rude what you just said. I say the unit Idaho game. Okay. Um, how many quarters are there in an NFL game?
4.
So in this game, we will have at least 4 receivers score 4 touchdowns or more.
That's very bold.
At least 4 receivers, and it's going to be at least 2 on each team. So it won't be 4 for one team and 0 for the other. It's going to be at least 2 receivers in Idaho, at least 2 receivers on the unit, get 4 touchdowns. This game is a wild one. 1:30. I'm off. Let's go. I'm going to get my popcorn ready for that game. I'm not playing then.
Can I give 2?
Trust.
Because I was gonna give one about the same game, so I won't count that one. I was gonna say that both teams scored the exact same amount of points they did last week. So Idaho wins the game 55-46, and both quarterbacks have a clean game with 0 interceptions. That was gonna be the one I said, but it's similar to yours since you said what you said. Um, Yeah, both quarterbacks back-to-back clean games. So I got another one, and it's involving Iron Wolves. I know you like that. Iron Wolves have 2 games, doubleheader. Both are pretty much must win at this point for them. Um, I was gonna go with a 3, but you said 4 will make it even spice up even more for you. Iron Wolves are gonna split. They're gonna go 1-1. They're gonna win one game by 40 points, and they're gonna lose one game by 40 points.
Well, um, well, hopefully I don't throw. Hopefully my 5 interception game is done, and we find a way to lose by 40 without me throwing picks.
Because the theme of the MFL and probably the Iron Wolves season as well is when it rains, it pours.
Verbatim of what I said to Chris after our last game.
Yeah,
When it rains, it pours. That's uh,
yeah.
that's how the good old saying goes. But when it's sunny, it's sunny.
We had a nice. It was perfect weather to all be at LeBaire.
For real. It was. And now we got to wait like a year and a half to go back to LeBaire.
Just a month. Next time Double Dippers are gonna win a game is gonna be there.
Those are you little bugger. I got you off air.
Yo, what?
I'll give it to you off air.
What are you gonna give me off air?
Well, you'll see.
That does not sound very
Well,
realistic.
I mean, you made it sound weird.
Let us know what you thought. Remember, be nice.
Yeah.
We're all here to have fun, like Kevin says at the end of every one of his podcasts.
Sois poli.
Yes. Good job.
Got you.
All right. Have a great
Folks,
end of your week. See you on the weekend.
thank you for tuning in. Without you guys, there is no show. See you next week, same place, same time.